We welcome everybody to Sports Authority Stadium here in Parker, Colorado. Due to technical difficulties with the Sports Authority Stadium, we are under a radio simulated broadcast for tonight's game. Again, just Sports Authority technical difficulties. Hello, everybody. My name is Kyle Potts. I am here alongside with Grayson Sargent here up in the broadcasting booth. Grayson, what do we have in store for tonight? Fountain Fort Carson 2-3 against Chaparral.
Well, we have a team that hasn't necessarily proven themselves in Fort Carson, but maybe has some potential, and we have a Chaparral team who's just missing a whole bunch of players. And so the Chaparral team is known to be very good, but with these losses on the roster, that might make it a closer contest. I mean, I'm not sure what we're going to see tonight, but I think it'll be a close game.
I think just going back to what you said, 10 players out. Ali Schlegel, Elliot Edwards, Hannah Hyatt, Casey Hyatt, Amin Rafiq, Malak Rafiq, Avery Martinez, Lily Ronsley, Maisa Walters, and Anna Hospital. Big contributors to this team. We're about to get this game underway. So Fountain Fort Carson starts it off with a kick. Chaparral attacking early. This one's back over to the left side. Now Chaparral has it. Sid Mullen moves over to the left, down to about the 35-yard line. Moves it up and saves it barely. It's still in play. This ball's high up in the air. Trying to get a header. Header again. Chaparral is in the defensive zone early. And now this one is kicked out of bounds. Fountain Fort Carson, Chaparral will have a corner kick. Some confusion with the referees. And the referees do call it a Chaparral corner kick.
You know, I always found these corner kicks so interesting. Just the way to arc it up there and see if anyone can go get a header. Just really exciting.
Maybe what we're in store for now. Now here's the corner kick. From that left side. Nobody can get to it. Popped up in the air, and now Fountain Fort Carson will control it. Kicked over back into Chaparral territory. Back on that right side. Now Fort Carson has it. Gives up to the middle of the field. And the goalkeeper kicks this one back out to midfield. Sid Mullen now on the attack. Moves over on the left side. Gives it back over to the middle. So Sid Mullen back with the ball on the left side. Looking for an opening. Can't find one. This ball's out of bounds. Fountain Fort Carson will retain the possession. So now the throw in for Emery Taylor. This one's hit in. And now controlling it is Wilson. Wilson moving back over the left side. Finds Sid Mullen, but it's too far out of bounds. Last touch by Fort Carson. Now Katie Hogan, the freshman. Now battling for the ball. This one's kicked over, back over to the right side. Down towards the middle. Chaparral controls it again. And Bully kicks it back over to the right side. And now almost a good stutter move, but it's taken away. Chaparral again retaining possession. Most of this game has been played on the Fort Carson side of the field, Grayson.
Yes, absolutely. Chaparral has been more on the offensive, and that's one thing I found really interesting about soccer is watching it, just which team dominates the whole game. And just because they dominate the whole game doesn't mean they're going to win. I mean, obviously you can control the ball for the majority of the game and still go down the opposite side of the field and score. And so, you know, it doesn't mean everything that they're maintaining the ball for so long.
And now again, some confusion with the referees. See the call. There's been a lot of action on this for Chaparral specifically, and we're at 36 minutes and 35 seconds left to play here in the first half.
Right, absolutely. I mean, we're still scoreless, so, you know, a lot to come.
Jade Elsman kicks it in. Apparently a handball called on Chaparral. This one's kicked way out of bounds, so Hannah Miyazawa throw in. Throw in to number 10, Martinez. It's back over to the middle side of the field. Now we're moving on the right side. And this one's back out of bounds. So Elsman will have a goal kick. And Chaparral's 4-4-3 typed formation has really been effective early against this team.
Yeah, definitely.
So now Elsman kicks it back in. Ball in play. Overside of the middle of the field, still on Fort Carson territory. Now, two defenders, still gets by him. Now we have it back to Katie Hogan. Hogan moves on the right side, but it's kicked out of bounds by number 8 on the Fort Carson side, Jade Elsman. Now a throw in for Katie Hogan. This one is inbounded. Nice move over on the right side, but to the corner, gives it over. And now taken away, but Jade kicks that one away. Now back over to the Chaparral side. Number 6 for Fort Carson, Hatzel, has the ball. Almost taken, it is taken away from Martinez. Great steal right there for Chaparral. Now Martinez back over to the middle side of the field. There's Tessoli. Then back over. Sid Mullen wide open on that left side. Saves it from going out of bounds, and now she controls the ball. Back over on the left. Tries to get over to the middle, but it's blocked away. Fort Carson, number 29, Emery Tainer, blocks that one away. Now throw in Sid Mullen. Gives it inbounds, so now trying to get over on that baseline. Now back over to Sid Mullen. Controls it over on that left corner. High arcing kick, but it goes behind the goal. Out of bounds. Now a goal kick. Grayson, a lot of action early. Still, all of it on the Chaparral side. What does Fort Carson need to do right now?
I mean, it all starts at midfield. You know, they just haven't been able to control the ball. I mean, these Chaparral defenders have been all over them. So it just starts with controlling the ball and trying to get into scoring position.
Yet Chaparral has not had a shot on goal tonight. They have a big kick. Good lead, but it goes out of bounds. We're going to have another goal kick. This one again from Jade Elsman. Now Elsman with a boot over to the middle side of the field. This one rolls all the way over to the Chaparral side. We have a one-on-one situation. Goalkeeper comes out and kicked away for Chaparral. That one was kicked away by, kicked away by Blazik, one of the top 5 goalies in the state. Now still tiptoeing on that right sideline. 3-on-2. Chaparral fires. This one's caught by the goalkeeper on the Fort Carson side. Megan Mello gets some action for her first time in the game. Now the punt by Mello. This one controlled by Miyazawa. Back over on the Chaparral side. Now Mullen has it on that left sideline, controls it, tiptoes over, and now is in close range. But it's kicked out of bounds too hard with that right foot. So now we will have a goal kick for Elsman, again, who's had a lot of goal kicks here in the first about 10 minutes, 32-22 left to play here in the first half. Now Jade Elsman will kick it off. This ball is high and now retained for Chaparral by number 29, McKenna Wilson. So now, back over to the middle side of the field. Tori Benerby. Tori Benerby has it again. This one sails too far out of bounds. Last touch by Fort Carson. You can see we thought Megan Mello would go get that one. It was last touched by a Fort Carson member. Pretty obvious that was touched by her.
Yeah, absolutely. Sets up another corner kick.
We are scoreless here in the first half. 31.5 minutes left to play. Now the corner kick. High arcing one. Good position. Almost gets it into the goal. Sid Mullen had a chance, but a little too hard with the head. And now Elsman again has another goal kick. Fort Carson has been sagging back into their defense. A lot of time has been spent on their side of the field, They need to start being a little more aggressive and get some shots on goal. Great move. This one's in the goal. Score for Chaparral. Huge goal to put them on the board.
Wow. I mean, she's caught the the offenders just off guard there. I mean, she stole the ball and nobody's paying attention.
Absolutely amazing. Olivia Loffer, the defender, puts it in the back of the net. We are at a 1-0 game with Chaparral leading. Fort Carson, again, needs to get on the offensive. This one kicked back over. Miyazawa takes it over the middle side of the field. Now we have it for Martinez. He's back over to the right side. Tiptoeing again to Bollet. Big kick. Middle of the field. Push there from Fort Carson. And now Sid Mullen retains on the left side. Moves over to the left. Trying to beat the defender. Tries to find someone. No one in the open in the middle. Miyazawa now cuts it back to the left side. Nowhere to go. Trying to look for something. Nobody open in the middle side of the field. It's kicked over to there. Miyazawa again controls. Confusion. Miyazawa doesn't know where to go. And Bollet and Miyazawa kind of fighting for that ball right there. Bernabe tripped over from the ball. Still retains the possession. Moves over into the middle side of the field. Now back over to the right side. Lost control. Katie Hogan trying to save it, but it goes out of bounds. It's going to go to Fort Carson. 29-49. Chaparral leads 1-0 over Fort Carson. This one back to Katie Hogan, but it's retained by Fort Carson. So now back over to the middle side of the field. Miyazawa taking on the forward for Fort Carson. Serrano looking for some help. Stolen away. And now it's back over the other side. Burnaby takes it over. Middle side of the field. Looks back to the inside. Good pass to Hogan. Hogan moves over to the left. Back out to Sid Mullen. Sid Mullen has a clear shot. Mullen drives in, but we're going to have an offsides. Offsides. The defenders just barely in the right position.
Yeah, that's a really frustrating thing if you're on the offense trying to look for that shot and you think you finally got through and turns out you're offsides.
This ball is kicked back out for Fort Carson. Now Chaparral's going to have it. Then back to the inside, Martinez. Back out to the defender. Number 12, Loffer. Takes it back over to the right side. Now back to Martinez. Martinez looking for something on that left side. Finds Bernabe. Now Martinez again. Boot over to the right side. Almost had an open pass, but it's taken away by Fort Carson. Now it's back to Belay. Martinez back in the middle side of the field. Finds Sid Mullen on that left side. Mullen has him help. Almost stolen away by Fort Carson. Mullen gives it out to Bernabe, but it's going to be taken away by the Fort Carson defender. Bernabe now has the ball back on that left side. Tiptoeing again on that sideline. Trying to find some room. Nothing there. Goes out of bounds. Barely stepped out of bounds, but Chaparral had a good shot opportunity. But that left leg was just a little too far on that line. 27-53. We'd like to thank you for watching this broadcast, which is brought to you by Cold Stone Creamery. So now, Sid Mullen doesn't try to save this one. She'll have a throw-in. Throw-in which is bounced off the Fort Carson defender. Now high up in the air. Header from Swain. This goes back into the middle side of the field. Back again in Fort Carson territory. Stolen away by Bernabe, but it's kicked over back onto the Chaparral side. And now Sid Mullen tries to save it. It's out of bounds, though. Fort Carson is going to get the ball. Again, look how far these Chaparral defenders are up on this Fort Carson team. And whoa, a missed throw. Missed throw in right there for number 1, Nicole Serrano on the Fort Carson side.
I think she popped it out by her own head. I'm not even sure what really happened right there.
It kind of looked like she did hit the top of her head, and the ball went flying up into the air, and both teams were very confused at that point. Heather Miyazawa is taken down by Nicole Serrano, pushed down. Yellow card for Serrano. First card of the game, 26-20. It's a 1-point game. Wilson. Now gives it back over to the middle side. Serrano, who just had the yellow card, has it now against Miyazawa. This ball is on the Chaparral side of the field. The first time we've seen it there. Loffer trying to get it out of there. Does against the Fort Carson defender. Excuse me, the Fort Carson offensive man. Kicked out of bounds now. Chaparral will have a goal kick. Carrie Blazak will have the goal kick. Number 1, who's been a fantastic goalkeeper for Chaparral this season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, coming in and filling the void of Lily Ronsley, that's huge.
So that's a tall order to fill for anybody.
Yes, absolutely.
So now back over to the middle side of the field after the kick. Trojans giving Chaparral some pressure. Back out to Miyazawa on the left side of the Chaparral field. Back to Miyazawa on the left side. Looking for something. Can't find anyone. Looks over to the middle. Bernabe slips, and now Fort Carson has it. Now Miyazawa fighting Serrano. These two have been going at it for the whole game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's something to watch. I mean, one of them, Fort Carson, already has a yellow card, so you got to be careful there.
Now McKenna Wilson. Heather Miyazawa on the left side. This one's kicked out of bounds by number 30, Jae Min Yu, on the Fort Carson side. Now inbounded to Wilson. Back out to Heather Miyazawa on that left side. Looks now to the inside part to Bernabe. Bernabe, move. Move again. Move. Pass to Mullen. Mullen has a shot. Looking over on that left side. Can't find anyone in the middle. Trying to find something. Can't make a move against the defender. Saves it from going out of bounds. Now Mullen pushed down to the ground. Kind of looked like that was out on her in the beginning part where her foot was out of bounds, but it wasn't called. Now number 22, Brandon Bay. Kicks it in to a Fort Carson defender. Now kick back over to the middle side of the field. Wilson, who's been pressuring this offense and defense for Fort Carson. Now we have on the right side. Now Belay, challenging this defense, cuts back into the middle, looking for someone to fire. This one is out of bounds. Firing was Katie Hogan, the freshman. 23-20 left in the first half. And now Elsman kicks it in from the goalkeeping spot. And now Martinez has this one taken away. Fort Carson now looking for something, but McKenna Wilson able to retain. Now back into the middle for Martinez. Now has it Bernabe. Bernabe cuts back into the middle. Nice move with her left foot. Still going, looking for someone to pass to. Fires, goal! They count it dead. Big goal, that's her second of the night.
I mean, that was really close to offside, but, you know, she just led her there. And obviously the shooter came up, and, you know, she just outran the defender. So no offsides call there, and a great goal.
Excuse me, that was Addie Almeida with the goal. Tough shot, but able to put that one in there. So now 2-0 is the score. 22-43 left in the first half. Big crowd for Chaparral soccer here tonight. Has been an interesting game if you're a Chaparral fan. Now kicking the inside, Heather Miyazawa trying to header that one, but still has to control it on that left side of the defensive territory. Kicked away by Serrano. These two have been battling the whole entire half.
Yeah, it's just getting more heated.
Now Serrano's going to give this up to let her teammate number 10, Jaya Freeman, pass it in. Pass in Miyazawa against Serrano. And this one's going to be out on Miyazawa. So now again will be J.F. Freeman passing it in. Freeman again. And this one's headed away. Miyazawa. Now Martinez. Martinez looks over to the left side. This one kept in play by Freeman. But now McKenna Wilson gives it back to Miyazawa on the left side. Tiptoeing against the sideline again. And we are out of bounds. That one was called. Kaya Conrad didn't get there in time to save it. So now it will be Fountain Fort Carson passing it in. Nicole Serrano. She's been an aggressive forward this night. And her entire season passes it in. Now Wilson able to bobble that one up. This one's kicked out and away. So now Conrad puts it over to the middle side of the field. Now we have a race. However, this one's kicked away by Fountain Fort Carson. Chaparral back at it again. Ava Wilson. For something, she cuts back inside. This one's kicked back away. Now it's out of bounds. Last touched by Fountain Fort Carson. So Tessa Belay passes it in. Pass in right there to number 21, Ava Wilson. Back to the inside. Now looking left. Stutter. And now Conrad kicks this one up. Now Conrad has it. This ball's kicked up into the air by Fort Carson. Crawford controls. Crawford trying to save it, but right into the foot of Serrano. 2-on-1. Chaparral retains it once again. Now the Wolverines taking it back over to the Fort Carson side of the field. Now Conrad battling for the ball. This one's going to be taken away by Chaparral. Back to Fort Carson. Now Chaparral has it again. Kicked over to the left side, and this one's going out of bounds.
You know, one thing I found interesting throughout the night is just how much of a role Sid Mullen has played in Chaparral's offense. You know, because they're missing out their big pieces in Elliott Edwards and Allie Schlegel. So, I mean, she has to make up for their missing pieces.
Mm-hmm. And they've done a very good job tonight. This whole team has played very well together. So now no one looking like they wanted that ball in Chaparral. This one's back over to about around the inside of the goal box. And almost a chance for a goal. Katie Hogan was in position. The ball just went right between her legs. Fort Carson playing like a very aggressive team tonight in the physical sense. However, the ball's been on Fort Carson's side of the field the whole game. So now Katie Hogan with an opportunity. This one's saved by the goalkeeper.
Wow, a diving snag that time. It was impressive.
Looks like she lost that ball a little bit too, so Megan Mello with a kick. Here's the punt. Almost directly into the middle side of the field. Header, Shap, header again. Back down. Fort Carson keeps it away. Katie Hogan battling for a chance at a shot. Conrad is not in good position to save that one away.
Offsides, I believe.
So an offsides call on Chaparral. Gives it back to Fountain Fort Carson. Now the Trojans trying to make up for something with this. Now it's back to McKenna Wilson. It's back over to Conrad. Now McKenna Wilson back to the defensive side for Chaparral. Kicked way over to the right side, but taken away by Fountain Fort Carson. Now battle for the ball again. Tessa Belay kicks it back over to the defensive side. Now Chaparral trying to get set, but too hard of a kick. This one sails out of bounds. 2-0, 17-23 here in Sports Authority. I'd like to thank you for watching or hearing this broadcast. Again, due to technical difficulties at Sports Authority Stadium, we've had to simulate a radio broadcast for tonight's event. Now we have Chaparral. So Martinez trying to get a goal, but no good on the shot. But however, that is their 5th shot on goal tonight. Yeah, Fort Carson hasn't had one. So now Chaparral and Fort Carson battling out again. This one kicked out of bounds by Courtney Jackson. Now inbound for Fountain Fort Carson. Number 1, Nicole Serrano on the Trojan side with the throw-in. High throw-in, very long pass. McKenna Wilson headers over to Aubrey Martinez. Martinez looks back into the middle side of the field for Tessa Belay. Belay moving over the right side. This one taken away by Fountain Fort Carson and back over to Martinez. Martinez now has it. Gives it back over to the defensive side for Chaparral. Katie Evans gives it back over to the left side. And now this one's kicked way out of bounds for Fountain Fort Carson. Now quick for Conrad. Conrad passes this one in. Looking for some shot, but it's kicked out of bounds. Courtney Jackson with the throw-in. High throw-in to the middle side. Looking for Aubrey Martinez. Finds her target, but taken away. Now again, being very aggressive on their side. Chaparral takes it back again. McKenna Crawford looking for anything.
Another offsides call.
Another offsides.
I think that is Kyra Conrad's side, and I think that's maybe her 2nd or 3rd time being called for an offside, so she's got to be careful there.
Chaparral is also, again, as we say it, very aggressive, and they've been just crowding the defensive side for Fort Carson. Now we have Ava Wilson going after this ball on that right side. Looking back over to the middle, but taken back away from Fort Carson. Hits the chest of Tessa Belay. And now run for the ball. Aubrey Martinez able to come up with it in the middle side of the field. Quarters away. Looking back over, way over the left side, but saved. Now Kyra Conrad tries to get a pass into Jackson. Now Emery Trainer. That one's going to be out on her. Throw in by McKenna Wilson. Battle by Conrad. And Tainer looks back into the middle. Might have a shot. Looking. There's Conrad. Conrad's still looking for something. Can't get a good shot. This one goes out of bounds. So that means that Elsman will kick this one back into play for Fort Carson. 13:50 left to play. 2-0. Chaparral leads. Now a big booting kick. Still control. Oh, and a big hit onto the face. A huge hit. Number 20, Katie Hogan, takes a monstrous kick to the face, Grayson. That did not look like it felt well.
Man, no, I jumped back in my seat right here. My goodness, she got squared up.
And you could hear that from the booth.
Well, how she's up and walking just fine, I don't know. I feel like I would have taken a little bit longer to lay on the ground and maybe collect my thoughts after that one.
I know we're back in here, so this ball is kicked out of bounds again by Fort Carson. Number 12, Loffer, throw in. Now Conrad on the sideline, keeps that ball in bounds. Katie Hogan, who just had a hit to the face, moves over to the middle side. High arcing kick is out of bounds. Another shot on goal for Chaparral, 6-0 against Fort Carson. And shots on goal, Grayson.
Absolutely. I mean, that's all that really matters is just how many shots can you get, because you know, in soccer, you don't have necessarily the amount of time to get a quality shot, but you have to get as many shots on goal as possible. And hopefully one of them will go through, maybe a couple of them will, and most of the time the team with the most shots on goal ends up winning.
Mm-hmm. Elsman again kicks it in for her goalkeeper. This one's taken away by Katie Hogan. Quickly, Hogan fires. No good. Can't get that one inside the net. 7 shots on goal compared to the 0 that Fort Carson has. Been very interesting as a game right now. 12-16 left to play here in the first half. Goal kick, Courtney Jackson. Jackson kicks this one back in. Trying to get a header out of bounds. It's now goal kick for Elsman again. Elsman now to kick this one back into play. There's the kick over to the left side. This one's out of bounds. So now with a throw in, McKenna Crawford inbounds to Aubrey Martinez. Martinez back to Wilson on the defensive side. So back over to Evans. And slip up right there. It goes out of bounds. Evans could not control that one.
You know, Kyle, people have always told me I have a face for radio, so I think this is finally my opportunity.
Geez, you know what? That's exactly the same thing I told Vic Lombardi when he came down.
Well, here we go. It's our time to shine, right?
All right, so now Aubrey Martinez back over to the middle side of the field. Now Amedia takes this one back over to Boulay. Kicks it back over to the middle side. Martinez back to Boulay. And back to Martinez. Martinez gives it over to Courtney Jackson. Courtney Jackson fires it in there. This one is blocked away by the goalkeeper. Mello blocks that one away. So we're going to have another corner kick. Courtney Jackson again to kick this one.
You know, that's always been a tough thing for me to understand, just how tough a corner shot is for, for soccer players. You just got to arc that at a certain depth and just try and give your teammates a shot. It's a tough task.
So there's the goal kick. It's hit away by the goalkeeper and out of bounds. One flew straight out of there. But now Conrad trying to get that one to go inside of the middle of the field, but kicked out of bounds, battling against Emery Trainer on the Fort Carson side. Now again, some confusion. The substitutes come in for both sides. Tessa Boulay comes out as Heather Miyazawa comes in. And on the other side, Emmy Hines is subbed out for number 27, Sierra Himes. Now the inbounds. McKenna Wilson battling out to get that ball. Back over. Courtney Jackson. Header. Tries to find Conrad. Now Miyazawa on that right side. It's over. Cuts back into the middle. Looks for Almeida. And taken down hard. So now Miyazawa takes it back. Miyazawa running out to that right side again. Now back over to number 21, Ava Wilson on that right side. Battling out in the corner. Trying to find some room. Defenders are just all over her. Wilson gives a shot to put it back into the middle side of the field, but it's taken out of bounds. Last touched by Chaparral. Eselman will now put it back into play. Now there's the kick. Conrad almost had a shot, but it's taken away by Fort Carson. Now McKenna Wilson. Back to Katie Evans on the defensive side for Chaparral. Moving over to the right side. Fires up, tries to find her teammate. Taken away by Fort Carson. Now back to Katie Evans. Looking for someone. And now gives it up to their offense. So moving up to the field. Fires. Saved by the goalkeeper. Mello with a nice save. Diving save for Mello.
And, you know, she had the shot there. She just really didn't put enough power behind it, behind that shot.
Looked like she rushed it as defenders were closing in on her. This one's kicked up. Battle for the ball, but Katie Evans is going to retain it on the Chaparral side. Leaves it up to her goalkeeper, Blizak. Kicks that one back away. Header saved from going out of bounds by Katie Evans. Now Katie Evans trying to save it again as she goes onto her side. She'll just let that one go. We'll have a throw in for Chaparral. Now headed back to Katie Evans. Right side, boots it over to the middle. Still on the defensive side for Chaparral. Now Martinez looking for that ball. Comes back over to the left side. Courtney Jackson moving up on that left side. Trying to find Miyazawa. Finds Miyazawa on that left side. Tries to save it before it goes out of bounds. She does on the corner. Now just has to look for someone to give that pass to. Courtney Jackson gets her ball taken away. And now Fort Carson just gets it out of bounds. Back now. Jackson inbounds it. Now to Martinez. Back to Jackson. Jackson looking for someone in the middle. Can't find anyone. Blocked away by Fort Carson. Back out of bounds. Now Jackson once again on the throw in. Trying to find Miyazawa. Miyazawa gets in front of the defender. Fort Carson back on the ground. This one's back out of bounds. Again, kicked away by Samantha Martinez on the Fort Carson side. Now McKenna Crawford on the inbound. Looks back over to the inside. Can't find Courtney Jackson. This one tangled up right there as a couple Chaparral and Fort Carson defenders fall. And this one trying to get some shot, but Mello saves this one again. Now with 9 shots on goal, Chaparral has definitely been winning that category. Kyra Conrad is going to let this one go on that left side. It's out of bounds. 5:43 left to play. And a little confusion as it's a yellow card. And they do say it's on Tagoon. So interesting yellow card call by the referees right there. So Kyra Conrad inbound. Still some more confusion. They're going to say it was on Megan Mello, who isn't in the goalkeeper spot for now. In the goal right now is Haley Stanley. Kicked out of bounds. Chaparral now has it again. And they're still talking about this card.
Man, I don't know.
She's just arguing with the ref, it looks like right now.
Maybe that's why. Just more arguing. I mean, may as well just drop it and move on.
That's right. I mean, wasted about 30 seconds right there, and time is not on your side when you're down 2 goals. Almeida looks for something inside. It's saved away by the goalkeeper. Stanley dives on that one. Stanley, a nice save. She's had to make a lot of nice saves as her defense has been allowing a lot of easy shots. So now this one's kicked back out of bounds, so Conrad was the last to touch. Inbounds for Tagoon. Now Mello up against number 22, Bernabe. Kicks it back over to Little. Now Sid Mullen gives it out to Martinez. Now back to Martinez. Martinez has it back over the middle. Moves over to the left side. Trying to find something. Nice move. Trying to find Kyra Conrad. And Conrad just saves it from going out of bounds again. Stuck in that left corner. And it's kicked out of bounds. So goal kick for the Fort Carson Trojans.
Conrad's had a little bit of a frustrating night so far.
So now again, number 7, Jade Elsman to kick in. Hit on the chest. Now looking. There's a collision right there. Almeida tries to get it, but can't get that one into where she needed it to go. Katie Evans gives it back to Miyazawa. Miyazawa hit over to Ava Wilson. Ava Wilson on that right corner. This has been a problem for Chaparral. Wilson kicks it into a Fort Carson defender, which goes out of bounds. Say it was last touched by Ava Wilson. .304 left here to play in the first half. 2-0, Chaparral leads. Now that pass in, some collision again for Chaparral. Kicked over back to Katie Evans. Now Evans to a Fort Carson defender who kicks it way back over to Sid Mullen on the defensive side. Now Mullen trying to control it. Gives it over to Tori Bernabe. Back out to Sid Mullen. Mullen looking over to the mill. Nothing right there. Now Bernabe takes it back over the left side. Trying to find Conrad. Pushed out of bounds, it looks like. Ball stays in bounds. Bernabe still has it. Bernabe moves over the left side and is in position for a pass. Now pass. Almeida save by the goalkeeper. Great save by Haley Stanley. She had to make too many of those great saves. Heather Miyazawa controls this high arcing kick. Katie Evans now controls it on the right side. 1:57 left to play here in the first half. Now back over, hits the back of a player on Fort Carson's side. The Chaparral looking for something. Heather Miyazawa gets this one back over to Aubrey Martinez. Martinez back to Courtney Jackson. Jackson loses this ball. Somehow finds a way over to number 15, Addie Almeida. Almeida looks inside. And goal! Number 15, Addie Almeida, with a great kick and a great goal, Grayson.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, Fort Carson has had great goalie play so far, but there's only so much you can do when there are this many shots on goal. Chaparral finally gets one to go, and they're up 3.
Great position. Just an amazing kick. Now we have it back over on the left side. Now Kyra Conrad keeps this one in bounds, but it's hit out of bounds by number 25 on the Fort Carson side, Kylin Tagoon. 1:15 left to play. Conrad back into Jackson. Jackson gives it, trying to get it to Martinez. Martinez moves over to the right side, into the middle side of the field. Now trying to look for Ava Wilson, but taken away by Fort Carson. We have some confusion again. So now with a handball, Aubrey Martinez has a chance for a big shot. From 40 yards on the goal. Trying to get it, but it's saved by Stanley, the goalkeeper. Now runs up, there's the punt. Short punt. Controlled by Fort Carson, but now Chaparral has it again. Burrell, high arcing kick. Trying to find Conrad. Conrad on the left side. 17 seconds left to play. Conrad with 15 seconds. Out of bounds for Fort Carson. 10 seconds left to play. Maybe should get one shot. 6 seconds. Back down to 5. Looks for something. Nothing's going to happen. Hit out of bounds. 1 second, and we are at the half.
Strong half for Chaparral.
Chaparral leads 3-0. A 3-point game in Sports Authority Stadium. The halftime report coming up, and we'll have some more Chaparral action when we come back.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at that's good stuff.
Perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at
We can get a player up here. Ah, that's good stuff.
Perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Sports Authority Stadium. Chaparral currently leads 3-0. We start the second half with Chaparral getting the ball first. Sorry, due to technical difficulties, Sports Authority Stadium, we've had to simulate a radio broadcast for tonight's event. But Sid Mullen now plays it over to the left side. This one's taking it back away from Fort Carson. Booted up to the middle side of the field. Now inside of the middle, Tessa Belay takes it back inside. Looks inside to Mullen. Mullen to Davis. Excuse me, McKenna Wilson. But gives it back over to the left side. Now on that left side, a battle for the ball. Tries to get it, comes up with it, moves over to the left side. Nothing there. Kicks it back over to the middle, and now looking inside. Now fine. McKenna Wilson fires. Goal! McKenna Wilson, number 29. The sophomore drills it in there. Didn't have a chance. Chaparral now leads 4-0.
I mean, they're just starting off early there. I mean, it wasn't even necessary. They could have came out and played conservative like they had that whole second part of the first half, but they came out aggressive, and look at that. They had another one on the board. Now
we have 44 seconds left. 44 seconds into the second half, and a quick goal. So then we have Laffer giving it back over to the left side. Tessa Belay trying to kick this one up. Kicks it back up, but kicked out of bounds almost. But saved away. Tessa Belay now has it. Kicks it over to the inside. There's McKenna Wilson. Now back over to number 18, Allie Swain. Inside of the middle. Miyazawa trying to get it out of there. Martinez gets her ball taken away from her. Now Serrano on the Fort Carson side. Kicks it back over. Olivia Laffer alone on the defensive side with the ball. This one is kicked out of bounds. Fort Carson has the possession of it. We're going to have a throw in. This throw in by Tagoon. High arcing throw in, but it's going to be controlled by Olivia Laffer. And Laffer doesn't get it kicked out of bounds. Tagoon looks like she missed the kick. Out of bounds, though. Chaparral gets it this time. Now I have the in-downs for Belay. Kenna Wilson fighting for it. Back to Wilson. Wilson getting some pressure again, but gets it back out, so Belay will have it. Tessa Belay moving over to the left side. Number 10, Aubrey Martinez. Now takes it back out there at midfield. High arcing kick. Allie Swain. Swain looking over 2-on-1 over the right side. Now it's to Sid Mullen. Slowing it down. Back to Allie Swain. Swain on the right side over by that right sideline. Gives it inside to McKenna Wilson. Wilson drives over to the right. Looks over back to Allie Swain. Swain into the middle side of the field. Now taken away. So now Miyazawa. Miyazawa gives it to Mullen. Mullen fires. Mullen. That one is saved away. So there's the booming kick by number 64, Haley Stanley. She's had an impressive game, but needs some help. If her team wants to win it, this one is called out of bounds. Almost got away with one right there for Tori Burnaby. So now this one kicked back out of bounds. Last touch by Tessa Belay.
I mean, and you see why Fort Carson has had such a struggle. I mean, they're going on the offensive side, looking to try and go get some points on the board, and it's 1-on-4. I mean, there's just no chance that they're going to come out of there with a goal. So they got to find some way to stay on offense and to get teammates down on that side of the field.
So now a little more confusion as they're going to reverse the call. Now Tessa Belay passes it back in. Chaparral has it over on the left sideline. Chaparral moving left to right. 36:04. Now still back over the left side. Looks over to the middle. Saved away. Kicked out of bounds. Fort Carson was lucky that there just wasn't a chance for a shot. Allie Swain was in good position, but someone chipped it with their foot and got it just out of bounds enough to where no Chaparral offensive player could have a chance. Now we're going to have McKenna Wilson passing this one in from the corner. Up in the air. Miyazawa hits this one up. Fight for it. Miyazawa. No, it's off the goalpost. Hit the highest part of it, so it's out of bounds. Almost for Miyazawa.
Man, they had a good chance there. The goalie was all disoriented, and the ball's bouncing around. All they needed to do was poke it in, but, just couldn't find the back of the net on that one.
Hit out of bounds. Fort Carson now has it. Serrano passes it in. Serrano inside, just goes into a crowd of white, but still Fort Carson somehow comes up with it. They're still hovering around midfield. Now back over, trying to give it to Sid Mullen. That is kicked way too hard. It's out of bounds on that right side. Chaparral again moving left to right in their white jerseys. Fort Carson moving right to left in their blue jerseys. And we have 34-35, 4-0. Fort Carson has not gone on the board yet. And it's a 4-point game with 12-0 shots on goal. Chaparral leads that category. And now the pass in. So Sid Mullen will take this one. Mullen kicks it backwards to McKenna Wilson. This one kicked back up. Now fight for it. It's Olivia Loffer. Kicks it back over to the left side. Weaving through the defenders. Trying to find something in the middle. Martinez. This one's stuffed up, and we have another offsides call.
Well, not an uncommon call tonight.
And that has to be just the aggressiveness that Chaparral has had this whole entire game.
Yeah, absolutely. Just it's all just about the aggressiveness, and that's kind of the negative effects of just trying to get on the board.
Now we have a shot. Looking for something, blocked away by the Fort Carson defender. Almost had an open shot. That was Olivia Loffer. Maybe had a shot on that one. So now McKenna Wilson, corner kick on that right side. It looks for something. We have a crowd inside of the goal, but nothing there. Out of bounds, last touch by Fort Carson again. McKenna Wilson has to run all the way to the other side of the field to get another get another corner kick on the left side. 32-48 left to play here in the second half. 4-0, Chaparral leads by 4. McKenna Wilson, high kick, header. Fort Carson lets this one go out of bounds. Now Esselman to kick this one back into the play. Esselman, booming kick. Miyazawa is taken down by Serrano. And that's a red card on Serrano.
That's the second time she's been taken down tonight.
She was taken down hard too. You could just see her head whip back onto the field.
Yeah, absolutely. That's it's never what you want to see.
Big hit. So now after that one, Courtney Jackson's going to kick this one in. Now there's the kick. Booming kick. Looking for something. It's out of bounds. Couldn't find anything right there.
Yeah, no, that's tough. Just trying to look for a teammate or something.
So again now, due to technical difficulties at Sports Authority Stadium, we've had to do a radio broadcast of tonight's event. Fort Carson down by 4. Chaparral has led from the start and leads the shots on goals 13-0. Fort Carson needs to get a shot.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they can't really find themselves back into this game, but at least to maybe have some moral victory, they should probably get something on the board tonight.
And out of bounds, so now Tessa Boulay. The pass in to McKenna Wilson. Wilson. Booming kick over, looking for something. Tipped out of bounds by the goalkeeper, Stanley.
More and more corner kicks.
No, and now a corner kick. This one's going to be Courtney Jackson. So Jackson on the corner kick. Again, Chaparral trying to get something in once again. This one is, oh, great kick. Beautiful pass. Great execution. We have another score for Chaparral.
That was a different approach to me. I mean, normally you see the high arcing kick, but they went with a ground kick, just rolling it to her teammate, and she was able to kick it in from there. So, I mean, not looking for the header for the goal, and it worked out for him.
Absolutely great pass, great kick. This one goes to Allie Swain. So now Tessa Boulay on that left side. Tries to get it passed out of midfield. Now we have it back on the Fort Carson side. Attacking once again is this Chaparral offense. Moves over inside of the middle. 30 minutes and 10 seconds left to play. 5-0, Chaparral. Mages have another shutout. Allie Swain kicks it back over the middle, but now Fort Carson retains it. Back over to the right side, McKenna Wilson. Wilson back over to the right. Moves over to the middle. Tries to find something inside. Nothing there. Fort Carson back with it. Little confusion, and Fort Carson just needs to kick this one out of bounds. Saved by Tessa Boulay. Boulay kicks it back inside of the middle, trying to fire at some goal, but there's nothing there. 15-0 is the shot count for tonight. Now 5-0 once again. Chaparral takes it back after that kick from the goalie. And now Aubrey Martinez looking inside, fires again, but this one's going out of bounds. 16-0 on the shot count. But it's going to be a goal kick, so that will mean Jane Elzelman will kick this one into play.
Yeah, you know, it's been a rough night for Fort Carson. I mean, honestly, they've just been busy defending the whole night. I mean, it's frustrating if you're the goalie. It's frustrating if you're the defenders. And there's just, at this point, I'm not sure if they know what they can do.
So now I got Martinez battling against the Fort Carson defender, moves over to inside of the middle. So McKenna Wilson looks at something. Trying to get it over to Miyazawa, who gets it on the right side, back to McKenna Wilson inside of the middle. 40 yards away from the goal. Now inside of the middle, cuts back to the left, trying to get past the defender. This one's taken away by Fort Carson, back outside to the right side. This one almost going out of bounds. Katie Evans saves the ball inside. Now looking back over the middle, Martinez. Martinez looks back inside, looking for a shot, finds Boulay. Inside of the middle, left side, fires a goal. This one is, once again, another one for Chaparral High School. What a play by Addie Almeida. 3 goals on the night, 6-0. 28-23 left in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, more woes for Mountain Fort Carson.
And still have not had a shot on goal. 17 for Chaparral. And again, Fort Carson is backing off offensively. Miyazawa playing aggressive up front. This one back over to the middle. Courtney Jackson fighting for the ball with the other Fort Carson defender. And now Tessa Boulay on that left side. Gets back in the middle. Gets around her defender, but it's taken back away by Hatzel on the other side. Back over to Olivia Loffer. Gives it back over to Katie Evans on that right side. Defense hasn't gotten a lot of playing action today. Now Heather Miyazawa over on the right side. Gets past her defender. Looks over, looking for something in the middle. Passes it up front. And now Fort Carson just needs to get it out of bounds. So this one's going to be out of bounds, and ball will go back to Fort Carson. Yet they're still sagging off on defense.
Yeah, I don't know. If you're Fort Carson at this point, you gotta. I mean, what do you have to lose? I mean, you got to go on the offensive, and even if that means playing, shaky defense or maybe even giving up another goal, it doesn't matter at this point. They should try to get something on the board.
Just a little bit action right there. As Mullen looking for something, but nothing able to get inside. We're at 27:02 left here to play in the second half. Now looking back over to the middle. Looks at something, not a lot there. McKenna Wilson able to retain it. Wilson back over to Jackson, taking a hit. Still playing, kick over to the goalkeeper, saved. 18 shots on goal.
I mean, that's unbelievable to me. So many shots on goal to none. I mean, there's just no way you can win.
Kick back over on the left side. There's Aubrey Martinez. And she gonna pull the defender down. Goes out of bounds though, last touched by Fort Carson. So Tessa Belay back over to her defensive teammate, Olivia Loffer. Now McKenna Wilson. Katie Evans behind her. Now moves up to the right side. Now over to Miyazawa. Miyazawa trying to find something on the baseline. In the right corner. She's struggling, trying to find anyone. It's kicked out of bounds. Good defensive play. But we're going to need some offensive contributions if they want to have any chance of getting back in this game. 25-30 left here to play. Esselman kicks it in. There's the kick, but deflected by Ava Wilson. Ava Wilson trying to save this one back in on that left side. Does. And now a battle for the ball once again. Now fight for the ball goes out of bounds, but Chaparral keeps it. So this one's going to be turned over to Fort Carson. And it looks like passing it in that Aubrey Martinez did not, she wasn't out of bounds. So turned over back over to the Fort Carson side. So we're going to give it back to Sid Mullen into the middle side of the field. Moves over, up to the middle. Nothing right there. Then back over to Courtney Jackson. Jackson gets this one back up. And it's out of bounds. Aubrey Martinez could not save that one, but it's going to be back on to the Chaparral. No, excuse me, back over to the Fort Carson side. As Fort Carson passes it in now. And this one's kicked back out of bounds. Fort Carson now gets it back. 23:53 left here to play. 6-0. Chaparral looking for another shutout. The last one was against Dakota Ridge in their first game of the season. Impressive game by both Elliott Edwards and Allie Schlegel, who are not here, though, in tonight's game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what can you say? You play this well on the offensive side, there's no way that you can't win this game. I mean, if you get 18 shots on goal, Chaparral has done more than their fair share to win this game.
So when he kicked back out of bounds. And now looking for something, fires a big shot, but it's saved by the goalkeeper again. Stanley's had a lot of action tonight, 20 shots on goal. And again, 0 for Fort Carson. So now Heather Miyazawa kicks it back over to the right side. Now looking back to her defensive teammate, Olivia Loffer. Inside. Kenna Wilson and Miyazawa can't get it. Inbounds. It goes out of bounds, and now Fort Carson passes it in. A lot of time has been spent on the Fort Carson side of the field. 22:30 left to play here in the second half at Sports Authority Stadium. Heli Miyazawa heads it off of the head of the Fort Carson defender. Now Miyazawa back inside. Looking for anything. Fires over to Tessa Belay. Belay controls. Looks back over to the left. Has her teammate Aubrey Martinez who fires inside looking for a goal. It's no good. Had a shot for a pretty amazing kick, but it's still too far to the right and out of bounds. So we're going to have another goal kick by Fort Carson. Now Eselman, the kick in. Now we're going to have Belay. Kicks it back over to McKenna Wilson, and now it's going to be Kyra Conrad. Back on the defensive side. Miyazawa kicks it back over to the middle. There's McKenna Wilson. Wilson again. Now Courtney Jackson tries to get it back onto her side. Back over. There's a pass. Looking. Goalkeeper dives on that one. Almost had a chance for 7 goals.
Well, I bet we see 7 goals by the end of the night.
21 exact minutes remaining, so still a lot of time left for something like that to happen. The kick back over to the left side. Barely saves that one. Now kick back into the middle. This one kicked up. Aubrey Martinez looking to get that ball back. Was taken away from her, so Courtney Jackson gives that out to Tessa Belay. And now back to McKenna Wilson. So Wilson tries to give it over to Kyra Conrad, but it sails too far outside to the right, out of bounds. Now we're going to have a pass in from Fort Carson. And now here's the pass in. So Miyazawa able to take that one away, but it goes out of bounds. Miyazawa with the pass in. Throws it over to Ava Wilson. Ava Wilson cuts it back inside. Pass inside. Now Miyazawa. Miyazawa trying to get a kick into the side of the middle. Now I have a chance. Jackson looking. Has it in there. Courtney Jackson.
And another goal for Chaparral. There's 7.
That is the senior with her first goal of the night. Put Courtney Jackson on the board and add 7 to the big light up scoreboard at Sports Authority. What a goal by Courtney Jackson.
Do you think we see 8 or 9 tonight?
We could see so many with how they're playing. Grayson, how's it been tonight for you?
I mean, it's been great. Besides the domination from Chaparral, I mean, I've been relaxing, just enjoying tonight's game. 7 goals put up on the board, so it's been good. You always got to enjoy a Chaparral victory.
Yeah, now we're looking back over onto the side of Fort Carson. Chaparral again attacking. 7's not enough. They're looking for another. They have Aubrey Martinez giving it back out to Tessa Belay on that left side. Then looks back over to the middle. Kicked back out of bounds, so another throw in for Chaparral. Belay, throw in. Now Courtney Jackson, big kick. Miyazawa has a chance. Miyazawa tries to get something. Looking, saved away, but it's off the goalie's hands. Out of bounds, we're going to have a corner kick.
I mean, even though she didn't get it to go, what a kick from Miyazawa right there. That was impressive. She turned and just tried to find the goal.
So now to kick it back in is going to be McKenna Wilson. Wilson getting a majority of the the corner kicks in the second half. High kick, looking for something, and miscommunication. And we're going to see a miscommunication. Ball rolls into the goal.
Wow.
And it's going to look like, so the goalkeeper didn't even, there wasn't a Chaparral offensive player that touched that ball.
It hit off the knee of a Mountain Fort Carson defender and just went in.
So now 8-0 for Chaparral. 17:37 left to play. Fountain Fort Carson needs to at least put a shot on the board. Heather Miyazawa gets it back on the right side. Now looking over to Kyra Conrad. Conrad running the field. Tries to give it out to Heather Miyazawa. Miyazawa can't get to it before it goes out of bounds. It's going to be out. So goal kick for Fountain Fort Carson.
17 minutes left to play here, and I don't know where the limit is. I think there should be about a 10-goal mercy rule.
Oh, gee.
I mean, you put that into place, and then we're out of here in about 30 seconds.
No, and I have to say, I mean, Carrie Blazak has got to be getting bored over there on her side. Not one shot has been fired her way. We have a fire shot by Conrad. Missed the goal.
That one looked good.
That one looked like it would have been in, but still too far to the right. Wind has played a little bit of a factor here, but hasn't been too much to really alter your shot one way or the other.
Right, we went down on the field during half, and say it was a little breezy and definitely cold.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter at CBN Broadcasting with more information, with more news coverage, and with more coverage of special events such as our Periscope we have done tonight. Follow us on Twitter and watch all of those great events. Turn on the excitement. So Loffer on that right side looking for something. Crosses over to the defender. Great move, but it goes out of bounds. Crossed over the defender hard.
Yeah, absolutely. It looked like Allen Iverson over there.
So now Eselman. Elsner is a teacher. Not saying she doesn't play soccer, but not particularly on this goal kick for Eselman. So now Courtney Jackson gives it back out to Tessa Belay on that left side. Back over around her side of the bench. Gives it back to Courtney Jackson, who skips it over to Heather Miyazawa. Miyazawa cuts it back and kicks it over to Kyra Conrad. Conrad kicks this one up. The Shep looking for it. McKenna Crawford, Heather Miyazawa moves over back to the right. Has an opening a little bit, fighting her defender. Keeps it inbounds, but it sails too far outside the white lines. 14:33 left to play here in the second half. Chaparral currently leads 8-0, the same score that they had against Dakota Ridge when they had their last shutout. So Eselman. Booting kick is passed over Courtney Jackson right in the head. And that one looks like she didn't get a good hit on the head, so that one like it hurt.
Yeah, definitely. It didn't look like she came away with a little bit of pain.
And she still gets another header. That's 2 headers in a row. 3 headers in a row. Back down on the field. A little aggressive contact. Still nothing has been over on the Chaparral side of the field. Something inside of the middle. Goalie save by Stanley. Not too big of a kick as it's controlled by Fort Carson, though. Still hasn't been on the Chaparral side of the field. So Belay passes this one back in. Courtney Jackson back to Belay. Belay booming kick, trying to find Heather Miyazawa. Kicked over to the knee of a Fort Carson defender. That looks over Aubrey Martinez. Back inside. Conrad. Looking Miyazawa. No, it's kicked away. kicked out of bounds, kicked way out of bounds. So now it's going to have to be a Courtney Jackson right side corner kick. 12:46 left to play here in the second half. Chaparral, again, leading by 8.
Let's see what kind of approach they go with on this corner kick. They go back to the air looking for a header.
For something, and Miyazawa off the goalpost, kicked inside! Chaparral, another goal!
Well, that makes 9.
Miyazawa with her first goal of the night. Heather's on the board, 9-0. Shap leads. That's a count of 24 shots on goal to Fort Carson 0.
I honestly think a 10 goal mercy rule would be a great rule to put in place.
Well, 11:44, just having to keep it play. You can see Fort Carson getting frustrated. Big hits on Aubrey Martinez. Tessa Belay, safety valve over on her side. Back over to the left. Now looking inside, Ava Wilson. Trying to find something again. Everyone wants to score. Tessa Belay back over on the left. Now tries to get it over to Courtney Jackson. Trying to cut it back inside of the middle. And now we have it to Aubrey Martinez. Martinez back over to defensive teammate. Big kick over the middle. No Conrad. Back to Belay. Big kick, but it's out of bounds. So another goal kick for Esselman, as about 10 minutes straight, the ball has not crossed the midfield line. Have some more confusion. Substitutions come out. As Emmy Hines looks like she was hurt a little bit. Contact. No call. And now we have it back to Tessa Belay. Belay cuts back in the side of the middle. Now we look at it. McKenna Crawford moves over to the right side. Just to find something. Tries to find Miyazawa. It's kicked off her left foot, and it's going to go out of bounds on that right side. Here's a throw in. Hit out of bounds. Miyazawa quickly throws this one back in. They're not stopping for anything. Miyazawa kicks it back over to inside of the middle to Kyra Conrad. Gives it out to Aubrey Martinez. Martinez looking over on the right side. Trying to find something. Trying to be her defender. She's over in the right corner. High kick inside. Almost gets a header in. So close for Ava Wilson. Ducked down low for a big header. Now it's going back out. So number 12, Olivia Loffer, kicks it out. We'll have another throw in. So Belay challenging. Out of bounds Belay with a throw in back into Courtney Jackson. Jackson moves over into the middle. Pass inside. Looking. There's Martinez. Cuts back in. Martinez. Looking. Martinez. Kicked away. Great save by the goalkeeper. That's a count of 26 shots to 0 again.
Oh, I mean, 26 shots is a lot, but the 0 is even more astounding to me.
Now out of bounds, Tessa Belay will have to throw it in. Have some more contact, aggressive play by Fort Carson, especially down by 9. Just look something in the middle, trying to get anything. Now we have some trouble for Chaparral for the first time. And Crawford. Miyazawa saves it though. Great save by Miyazawa. Now it's back over on the Fort Carson side of the field. Trying to keep it in, but Aubrey Martinez just a second late trying to save that ball. We have 8:20 left to play here in the second half of play. 9-0. Chaparral continuing what has been a blowout.
You know, Kyle, I grew up playing basketball, so I always thought basketball parents were kind of crazy. Soccer parents get into this.
Oh, man, they do.
So excited and a little over the top, you might say.
Hey, you have to see Mrs. Erin Anderson. She quoted her husband as a crazy soccer parent.
That's right.
You can check out the video of Haven Anderson's first goal on our Twitter page. It's also on our website. Stay tuned for more information about her and her documentary. Courtney Jackson with a kick in. Big high kick. Easy save for the goalkeeper. That's 27 shots that Chaparral's had tonight. We have 7:25 left to play. Stanley boots this one up. Nobody can get to that one. Not looking for anything. For Carson, still sagging back on their defense. Not a whole lot right there. And the save by Stanley. Now saving in by Tessa Boulay. Trying to find Courtney Jackson instead. Moves, cuts back inside of the left. They're trying to find her teammate Eva Wilson. Wilson battling against a Fort Carson defender. Not a hole right there. Hits the referee's foot. Now back. Boulay deflects it. Gets back the ball. This one's ricochets off a Fort Carson defender. It's out of bounds. Boulay, another throw in. So now Tessa Boulay looking for something. Tries to find someone in the inside, but it's kicked away. Then McKenna Crawford pushes it back up. Looks back over to Miyazawa on that right side. Miyazawa looking. Still looking. Kicked out of bounds. Miyazawa will have a throw in. Throw in that doesn't really go anywhere for Carson. Looking for it. Courtney Jackson. Can't get a good hit on the ball. It goes out of bounds. Fort Carson needs to pressure Chaparral. There's Heather Miyazawa. Gets it back over, but it's going to go out of bounds. They're calling that one. So throw in for Fort Carson. Miyazawa hits it up with her head. And now Olivia Loffer kicks it back over, who's wide open on the left side. Tessa Boulay. Boulay moves over to the left. Still looking for a pass. Nothing there. Tries to find Conrad. Conrad gets it. Taken away. Now back to Boulay. Boulay to Martinez. Moves over to the left. Nice move. Pass to the right. Back inside. Tripped up, and Fort Carson has it. And they're going to call yellow card. Yellow on Emery Trainer. .420 left to play here in the second half. 9-0 as Chaparral currently leads by 9 in what has been a blowout.
Chaparral looking for that 10th goal.
May find her with this one right here, Aubrey Martinez. Kicking it. There's a high kick, but it's inside the net! What a kick! Aubrey Martinez!
Wow. Sniped that one.
Booming kick. She did snipe it. That was a big kick. Wow. You could probably hear that sizzling through the air. Ooh. And that's 10. Chaparral's first game, they're in double digits.
I actually think that is a mercy rule, like I was talking about. They're going to end the game at 10 goals to nothing.
That's 10. Chaparral goes 4-0. 10-0 in this magnificent blowout for Chaparral and what has been a dismal game For Fort Carson, we are not fooling you in April, 10-0, as we end this game on a mercy rule. Grayson, any last thoughts about this game?
Great for Chaparral. I mean, great for these players who are coming up to the varsity level because, you know, they had so many players missing. They came out here on a varsity stage, and they dominated tonight. Congratulations to them.
And again, 28 shots on goal for Chaparral, 0 shots on goal for the Fort Carson Trojans. Chaparral Wolverines advance to 4-0. Fort Carson drops to 2-4. Thank you for watching what has been a great broadcast of Chaparral Sports. It's been a very exciting game. And to start off your April, what a great game, Grayson.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations to the Chaparral Wolverines on a huge win tonight.
Thank you all for watching, or excuse me, for hearing this presentation. Be sure to vote on Monday for student government elections. My name is Kyle Potts. I am here with Grayson Sargent, and we wish you a good night. And remember, everyone, it's a great day to be a Wolverine.